We used to make thousands of sopapillas every day in our restaurants in New Mexico, and here's why. I can't imagine a recipe that could be any simpler that gives so many people so much joy. We're going to start by setting up our kitchen mixer, but if you don't have one, you can do this in a bowl by hand. That's no problem. We'll start out with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I gotta tell you, these are a favorite in my house. Now that the kids are all grown up, I can always lure them over by telling them that I'm making a batch of sopapillas. So now we'll add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now the sugar is optional. If you're going to be using them for a savory dish like stuffed sopapillas, you might want to leave it out. Next, we're going to cut in the butter. You want it to be room temperature. You can also use shortening or lard if you like. Let that go for about 1 or 2 minutes, just enough to let the whip cut the butter into the flour. Now, if you search sopapillas online, you'll find all kinds that look totally different from the big fluffy pillows we know in New Mexico. Just about every country has some version of a fried dough. In France it's beignets, West Africa has the puff puff, Mexico buñuelos, and Chile has a version that are made with squash. So now that the butter's cut into the flour mixture, we're gonna go ahead and switch out the whip for the dough hook. And now you can add 1 cup of the milk. Now, you don't want to add all the milk right now because we're going to check the consistency later and add more if needed. So as you can see, our dough still looks a little dry. So go ahead and add the rest of the milk right now. Once the dough starts to pull away from the bowl, you can pull out a small bit and feel it with your hand. You want it to be moist, but not sticky. Yeah, this is perfect. Now you can dust your countertop with some flour and then work it by hand just a little bit to get a smooth consistency dough ball. Now you want to let the dough rest for at least 1 hour. But if I know I'm going to be serving these for dinner, I'll make up the dough in the morning and I'll let it rest all day. Now when you're ready to cook, lay the dough out on your board and dust it with a little bit of flour. Now you don't want to knead it anymore, you just want to roll it out. Now keep turning the dough to get a consistent sheet. You're looking to get an even thickness of about 1/2 centimeter. Take your time and keep checking the thickness because if you roll it out too thin, you can't rework the dough. The sopas won't puff up. Okay, now you're ready to cut the sheet. You're looking for 3 to 4 inch squares. Now don't worry if the shapes are inconsistent along the edges. I've never once had a guest pass on one because they said it was lopsided. At home, I like using an electric skillet for frying. It keeps oil at a consistent temperature, and I have this one set about 400 degrees. Okay, drop your sopapillas in the hot oil. They'll immediately float to the top, and you can start basting them by pushing them back down into oil just a little bit. Once they start puffing up, flip them over and continue to baste them, so they're hot on both sides. The whole cooking process is very quick and it'll take less than 1 minute. There are many uses for sopapillas: appetizers, entrees, dessert. But what's most common in local restaurants is a big basket served alongside one of your favorite New Mexico dishes, along with a squeezed bottle of honey.